key set of skills for your all of the DeMov, finding roots and all these. Got to be able to change these rectangulars into your cis form. So this one is the square root of x squared plus y squared, which is the same as, in this case, 4 plus 4, because this is x, negative 2, y is 2. But when I take the arc or inverse tangent of y over x, or what I like to say, inverse tangent of 2 over negative 2, what is the angle that comes up? Negative pi over 4. But that's wrong. Rats. We got it wrong because on the circle, if you do this arc tangent, you're either going to get in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. If you're in quadrant 4, but you want to be in quadrant 2, this is what I got, negative pi over 4. That's what I got. But I want to be over here in quadrant 2, back 2, up 2. This is the one I want. What do I have to add to get to there? Add pi. So add 4 pi over 4. Does that make sense? So this is going to be 3 pi over 4. So your final answer for z is going to be the square root of 8 cis negative pi over 4 plus 4 pi over 4 is 3 pi over 4. This is the first step. So if you wanted to square it or take it to the 8th power or even square root, you could take the square root of this cis value because it's 1/2 power. So you could do anything you wanted with that DeMov's theorem. But then the rest of these are going to be the square root of 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 squared is 4. Square root of 12 plus 4 is 4. This is going to be the inverse tangent of y over x, negative 2 over the square root of 3. So driving this point home, this is not going to be negative pi over 6. What is it if this is in quadrant 2? Yep, plus 6 pi over 6, which is going to be z equal to 4 cis 5 pi over 6. How many had that for the second one? That's the most missed probably of all of these. This one, the square root, this one's kind of bothersome because it's 0 plus 9. X is 0, y is 9. So this is going to be the square root of 0 plus 81, which is just 9. And then for this one, I would draw the picture, and I'm going up 9i up to here. What angle is that? Pi over 2. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Because I think any of these, if it's 2 or negative 2 or I or negative I draw the picture and I can see it a lot quicker. So this z is going to be 9 cis pi over 2. And then this last one is going to be the square root of 9 plus 3 is the square root of 12. And then this angle is inverse tangent of negative square root of 3 over square root of 3, square root of 3. That's what 3 is. So these will cancel out. And what is the inverse tangent of negative 1 over the square root of 3? Negative pi over 6. Now, is this in quadrant 4, though? It is. So then your value is going to be square root of 12 cis negative pi over 6. So these over here are just the quick memorizers. This big one, inverse tangent of square root of 6, is at 30 or 60 degrees, 60 pi over 3. So this 1 over square root of 3 is a smaller one. That's pi over 6. This one, inverse tangent of 1, that's just pi over 4. 0 is 0. And then this 1 over 0 must be your 90 pi over 2. And that's if you're in the quadrants 1, and then you can figure out 4, and you can figure out 2 and 3.